Hi everybody, good afternoon. I'm Pabs, a Ricine VTuber and artist, and today we're going to be doing a couple comics. Now, you might be noticing that, if you're watching this live, if you're catching this live, you might be noticing that I'm actually streaming a little bit earlier than my usual time. And that's because I'm trying out a couple different things with my scheduling. You know, I'm hoping to see if I can find something that works even better. Yeah, the thing is, right, when people try to make changes too early... Or maybe not early enough, you know. It's like an odometer, right? Eventually, if it circles up high enough, it'll go back down to 0, and then it'll be just perfect. But yeah, I'm trying some new stuff with my scheduling. You know, the thing is, right? I believe in the idea that if a person is left to their own devices, if an individual is left to their own devices, eventually they'll figure out what's most optimal for them. But I think there's also a merit in finding, you know, trying out different things to see if they work for you as well. Also, hi, Leo. So I'm thinking, you know, try this out maybe a couple weeks, see if morning streams are something that I like doing on the weekend. Well, this isn't really morning. It's noon. It's noon ET. So we'll see how this works out. I've got a good feeling about it. So let's head over to the working screen. Yeah, today we're going to be working on a couple comics that I've been dreaming of. Okay, now I put the closed captions here because I figured like it would look like they're right below me, but they're covering up the one thing that I use as branding on my body. So I'm gonna need to move them like maybe down here. That feels like a good place actually. I like that. All right, let's see if I can't get CSP on the screen. And of course, the background music, can't forget that. Yeah, we're just gonna need to put this we're gonna need to angle this dangle just a bit higher. How else will people know you're Paps the Third? Exactly, you know? This is my thing. Like, look at it. Look at it. Look at how perfect in every single way this thing is. Like, okay, so wait, hang on. How many strokes is it actually? Because like, hang on, I want to figure this out. So what is the minimum number of strokes you need for perfection? Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, exactly. It's even 12 strokes. 12 is like the most... To me, 12 is a very pleasant number, a very pleasing number. Because it's, you know, it's 3 times 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I don't know what about that. It just makes me like tickles my brain in the right way. I really like 12 as a number. Okay. Anyway, the first comic we're going to be doing is about me talking to the sun. Yeah. Be prepared. This is like a lot of what I make with these comics are based on my own persona, so they are going to get a little bit narcissistic. Is there like an opposite of ego death? Ego life? Ego rejuvenation? Perhaps. Perhaps. Okay, I'm gonna start drawing this out. It's a little bit. Okay, so kind of want to work on like the panel arrangement a little bit. So the issue with drawing panels one by one like this, rather than... I do know that, like, for example, I remember following a comic back in the day called Lackadaisy, where the author showed their super involved comic making method, where basically I think they basically sketched it out first, the idea of like each panel and the flow of the comic. Then they would actually like make each panel in a new canvas. And then, you know, in the final canvas, they just take each panel and paste it on like a big sheet. And while that is an amount of work that is absurd to me. All right, like the thing is, right, I stop having fun with things if they drag on for too long. You know, comics, movies, video games, etc. You know, if it feels like it's kind of a drag, you know, if it kind of goes on for like more than I expected it to, it starts to become somewhat tedious to me. So I can't imagine a process that complex and involved. You sound like you haven't fully woken up. That might be because like the only thing I've had to drink today is one sip of a McDonald's coffee that I went to buy before the stream. It is also earlier in the day. Usually when I stream, it's after work or something, or after like an entire day has gone by. I have water. I do have water. Like I have water with me. I just have a coffee as well. Yeah. So yeah, not definitely probably not optimal in terms of like hydration, but I should also get coffee. That's the spirit. Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of a weirdo because I actually like the taste of like quote unquote bad coffee. Like if coffee's like been sitting in a pot for 3 hours, just getting slowly burnt by the heat of the pot, I actually really like that. Yeah, I mentioned this to some of my coworkers the other day. They looked at me like I had three heads. I don't know what it is about it. It makes me feel alive. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Is that it just makes me feel alive when coffee is just like really bad. Mod check. I don't know what that means. Is that like a name for not a sprite, a emote from BTTV? But yeah, I like the taste of like really burnt, kind of bad coffee. Yeah, after like the thing is, right? I had started drinking coffee for the actual caffeine. It says SpongeBob Fish looking around concerned. Oh, okay, well that's fair. Yeah, no. Like the thing about me is, right, I started drinking coffee because I needed the energy. So I didn't want it to be like super sweet or anything. So I just like went full black. I was like, black coffee must have the most energy in it, despite the fact that the sugar would probably add like additional energy. I didn't like put two and two together that like more sugar would be more energy. But what ended up happening is that I just enjoyed black coffee from the very beginning. So now whenever I want to drink coffee, it's not that I can't have it with like loaded with like milk, sugar, and everything. I'm also a fan of that, but it's just like all things equal, I will just default to black coffee. Yeah. Okay, I need to get like a smaller eraser for this part. Okay. Funnily enough, I did actually want to do something with the sunflower one time, so I did actually make. I think it's in my patterns somewhere here. Background. Clothing. Yeah, I did actually make like a sunflower petal pattern, but it's got like this weird friggin' mark on it for some reason, which bums me out a little bit. Okay. What I think I need to do actually is I need to make myself a little bit smaller, maybe not so strictly sticking to the rule of thirds, and put the sunflower sun slightly lower, kind of like that. Also lower its head a little bit. Yeah. Also, I'm going to put this in the kind of room that I have for what do you call? What's it called? The just chatting screen. There we go. And okay. There we go. No, wait, the perspective on that doesn't make any sense. Hold up. Yeah, okay, it'd be more like this. I could even like probably like Photoshop it in. Photoshop it in. I like that I love it when a product becomes so unanimous with an action that you can just use it as a verb. So, like, oh, that was photoshopped. Oh, I need to Google that. You know, I like it when that happens, but it's also kind of infuriating when the product in question makes you mad. So, like, I have been a long-time Photoshop hater since about grade 9. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, right? I started drawing with a version of Photoshop Elements. Photoshop Elements is mainly for pictures and everything. I started with that, with a version of it that came free with my tablet. Back in the days when they used to bundle graphic software with your tablets, I used that for a while. Eventually, I switched over to, I think, Metabang Paint Pro after Elements stopped working. Can I ask you something? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Sure. While you're at it, let me turn on the jukebox properly. It's a little bit higher. But yeah, feel free to ask me something. There we go. Can I turn you into a Funko Pop? While I appreciate the fact that you're asking me, while I appreciate the fact that you're asking me for permission, realistically, there's nothing I can do if I decide to say no, and you decide to do it anyway. So just go for it, honestly. I think it'll be funny. Honestly, not the question I thought you were gonna ask. I'm not sure. I don't know what a question I expected you to ask. Your chopped Pikachu face. Well, like, that's not a question somebody asks you every day. You know, you get questions all the day, like, oh, how are you? What's the time? Do you know what the weather's like today? Hey, what are you doing later? Not, can I turn you into a Funko Pop? That's not on like the list of questions that I have answers prepared to for the day. I wasn't expecting the Funko Pop maneuver. Habs Gaming. Hey Hootsuji, how you doing? Yeah, we're gaming. I'm playing a thing called Art, and brother, you know I'm winning. I saw a thing that's like, would you still love me if I was a Funko Pop? I mean, one time I did envision like a version of myself as like a marketable Lego minifigure. There we go. So, like, hang on. You do look like a Lego. I do look like a Lego is the thing. I feel like it would be very easy to turn me into a marketable Lego minifigure. Honestly, I feel like I could like pull off the little Lego wrench hands that they got. God, I miss playing with Legos. I need to buy, like... The thing is, right, while I recognize that there are no rules when it comes to your own enjoyment, I do recognize that if I bought Legos and started playing with them like when I was a kid, I would definitely leave one unattended in my apartment, and I would 100%. This is a fucking guarantee. This is a Betty Crocker warranty in the back of your mixer that you bought from Walmart for $30 type guarantee that I am going to step on that sucker and it will cause bleeding. Because I take heavy steps. I want to get into the Lego bonsai tree so bad. The one where the leaves are pink frogs? I've never heard of this. Hang on, let me look this up. Lego bonsai frog. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh, shit, that's really good. My brother used to have Legos and wouldn't believe us when we told him it hurt to step on them until he did. Well, that happens sometimes. This is phenomenal. That is really something. God, it's always super nice. It's always super refreshing when somebody has like a particular obsession or like hyper-specific interest in stuff like a specific toy brand or something. So like I saw the other day this TikTok, right, of a guy who was very obviously really into Hot Wheels. And what happened is that he saw a car that he had a Hot Wheel for parked outside of his house. Like it looked like 1-to-1. So he just went out there, and put the Hot Wheel car on the windshield of the actual car, and then he filmed like the owner's reaction when they found it, and it was so cute. If someone gave me a bouquet of Lego flowers, I would cry. An understandable reaction. Like that. Like, obviously any kind of bouquet is nice, assuming you're not allergic to the flowers. But, you know, if it's like a Lego bouquet, that's something that's been, you know, that's something that they took the time to personalize. Presumably, you know, they took the time to, like, make it for you. They took the time to create that sentiment, but also give it their own unique spin. And I think that's cute. I think that's super cute. I don't know if it'll be confusing to have my dog statue there. I don't know if you can normally see it in my hang on. If I'm over here... Okay, yeah, you can't probably normally see it in my just chatting screen. Good to know. There we go. I can't make the sunflower flower too tall, because otherwise it's going to take up way too much of the panel. And also, it's just gonna not be particularly good for the arrangement. I was gonna do a fancy like three like a waffle. Is that what it's 3 per? I don't know what this is called. Like rule of thirds grid. Thirds grid. I'm gonna go with like rule of thirds grid. I call it like a waffle line. Hang on, damn it! Reflexes were not fast enough to abort the sneeze that time. Alas. Yeah, I need to make this thing smaller. Let's see, right over here. Yeah, like I also know that on Tumblr at least, there's been this one TikTok of a dude who found like a snake that he was looking for. It's a very rare snake because they live mostly underground. And when he found it, he was just so delighted and everything. And it's like being able to see other people who are passionate about a very specific thing and get their dreams fulfilled is something that is so important and vital. Because, like, you know, I like doing things. I don't think I have a particular passion. I like martial arts. I have passing interest in martial arts, but, you know, I wouldn't call myself, like, passionate about it. So when somebody has, like, that much devotion to something, you know, it's really something spectacular to me. Okay. I think about that good would be good for the other speech bubble. That's also kind of on the rule of thirds line. There we go. And then panel 3 would actually kind of be a close-up of this. So that's gonna save some time, thankfully. I love treating art like it's got speedrun strats. Because past a certain point, again, like, if you take shortcuts, you know, if you take quote-unquote shortcuts in art, if you try to be more efficient, I think, like, after a while, that just becomes the way you do things, and it becomes like a technique as well. I feel like that's something, that's my feelings towards it, that, like, you know, if you learn to do things in a specific way to get more efficient at them, eventually that becomes a technique of its own. Okay, this further up. I need to, like, transform this to be even bigger. Uh-oh. Why am I getting the little wait? God, it freaking scares me whenever I get the little, like, waiting symbol icon. I'm having flashbacks to... I remember in a couple of Drawtober pieces. Hang on. I'm gonna save this just in case. The art process is either a slow-cooked chili or a souffle. Do you mind elaborating on that? Alright. Oh no, I had caps lock pressed when I named this, so it's got the first letter minimized. No, hard. Alright, cool. Thanks, Brigand. Okay, the last panel is gonna be a surprise because I think it's important to also preserve the punchline in terms of the video. But there will be a fourth panel. Okay, that's folder 2, folder 1, here we go. Folder 1 and folder 2 are probably the ones that are gonna take the most time to draw. Folder 4 might take a little bit of time, but probably not much. Okay, my coffee should be cool enough to drink now. Time to get in there. Good stuff. Oh yeah, that's been sitting in the pot for a couple hours. Okay. So, I'm gonna wait, for some reason I thought that it had anti-aliasing turned on for a second. Yeah. Alright, and then over here. There we go. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, there we go, over in this direction. I always wonder what to do with my teeth because you can't see that I have top teeth when I talk with my model. But usually you can only see my 2 fangs, so it feels weird to draw myself with more teeth, even bottom teeth. Yeah. I also have bottom teeth, you can't see them very easily. I keep accidentally drawing you like an orc. Well, that's fine as well. I mean, that's kind of that's low-key kind of what my design is going for. I didn't envision myself as an orc initially, but I could be an orc. Paps can be orc-coded. You know, I love meat, I love doing, weirdly macho stunts for the hell of it. I like axes. Axes are nice. So, you know, I think I can be orc-coded. Remember when I introduced myself as, a rice troll? Man, that was weird. Oh, green. I'm also green, to some extent. Yeah, even the green sweater. I just said, yeah, I like how we thought of that at the same time. But yeah, I think I am definitely orc-coded. As an organism. Okay, there we go. I was reading some design notes, right? I was looking at the design notes for Mob Psycho 100, and apparently, and something cool that I hadn't noticed when I was watching it. I only managed to really watch the first season way long ago, but one of the cool things that I noticed about Mob Psycho 100. Yes, Hitsuji. Remember, lemons are yummy. Lemon. No. Whoa. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video. There's a video of somebody on animating, voicing a Discord bit that somebody else was doing, where they put I don't remember. I keep forgetting the word for emote today. Why do I keep forgetting the word for emote? Anyway, they put like this Discord emote of Miku next to a lemon. And she was like, lemon, and there was like a munching sound, and then she like got warped really badly, and she was like, oh. It was fun. I also do that when I eat a lemon. I did actually try eating a lemon one time. Not quite like an apple. Like basically, I just like ate the fruit inside of the ring. Like I cut it into rings, right? So it had like that distinct kind of like lemon-y shape, like this. Right? And I just ate the fruit inside of that, and then I ate it to the very like rim until like I just got to the border, and then I stopped eating it. I ate a lemon a couple of times that way, and I can't say that it significantly improved my life. It was probably terrible for my teeth, but I will say I can at least say that I've accomplished that. You know, that's gonna be my hidden talent. That's gonna be like the Chekhov's gun of my life. I'll be like 29 years old or something in a situation where I can only escape by eating a lemon, and I'll be like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." Yeah. That's what nobody tells you about like really sour foods, is that they're like if they have like citric acid or something in them, or I don't remember like what. I think it is citric acid because citric makes sense. Anyway, I do remember that like citric acid, I think, is super bad for your teeth, and the problem is that like a lot of like sour candies are basically, you know, that like saltish thing that is on a lot of sour candy. That is supposed to be, excuse me, that is supposed to be like extracted sourness from like fruits and lemons and everything. And that's actually pretty bad for your teeth as well. You know, besides the sugar in the candy, but, you know, who honestly, who among us expects to keep their teeth all their life? Let's be real. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this, but the sun did make it so that, yeah, I was gonna say like, the sun did make it so that I can pop out new teeth like a shark whenever mine get worn down. That's not true. I wish that were true, honestly. Dentist bills are nothing to fuck with. Okay, there we go. Kind of like this. No, you just sharpen them like a beaver. Yeah, no, they keep growing, so I just have to gnaw on furniture to make sure that they stay at a reasonable length. Yeah. The ones in the corner are really difficult to get at, which is why they're so long. Yeah, when I try to like chew on a table leg, you know, it only gets like in like a square shape, like right around this area here. It doesn't actually like grab the corner, so you know those are left a little bit overgrown, unfortunately. They're not for dogs. They're for you know those plastic covered legs for chairs. They're not for dogs. They're for pabs. Yeah, I mean, like I don't go out of my way to chew furniture specifically, but the thing is, right? Everything else is just so fragile. You know, it'll snap in one chomp of my powerful alligator-like jaw if I don't if it's not properly fortified. Yeah, I did try biting wood, but you know, I kept getting splinters on my tongue, and that was a complete deal breaker for me. Yeah, nobody like, you know, it's one thing to, you know, and the insects, the animals within the trees. Like, it's one thing to bite into a branch and get like an entire splinter, because you're almost expecting that to some extent. You know, you're eating a tree, no duh, you're gonna bite into a splinter. One time I bit into a tree and it was just full of ants, and boy, they were not happy when I was technically breaking and entering into their home. That's super fucked up to think about, that, like, every time you, like, kick an ant nest or something, you're technically doing a B&E. And I remember my brother once showed me a clip for a comedy skit. Not a comedy skit, like a comedy special, where a dude was like talking about how his friend convinced him to do a B&E for some reason. And I don't remember any of what happened in the skit, but I do remember the phrase B&E, and like that's just been in my vernacular ever since. Okay. Hey Toast, how you doing? Welcome to stream. How are you? Oh yeah, I saw you were playing Dead by Daylight 2 yesterday. How did that go? My alarm went off and baby got so fast, like he's late for work. Baby just like me for real. God, I don't like have a problem getting up to go to work. I have problem like it's very rare that I have a problem. Good, it's pretty fun. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, I don't really have a problem getting up on time for work. But I have had, like, the thing is, I never, like, oversleep, and I'm late to work. First of all, because I don't think I could survive that, you know, psychologically. Being who I am, I don't think I could survive that psychologically. But, you know, there are times where I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna wake up at, like, 7:01. You just shower and it's late for work. Yeah, no. I shower at the end of the day. I don't understand people who shower at the beginning of the day. Like, yes, you're clean and you're ready to, you know, take on the challenges of the day, but unless I'm like giving like a presentation or something where I need like that extra confidence boost that I get from being super hygienic, you know, it just feels weird to like shower, go to work, come back, you're all like grimied out from being in the outside world. This is probably not painting a very good light on me. I will recognize that. It's gross because you sleep with all your nasty. Exactly, like, that's another thing, right? If you shower before you head to bed, like, if you shower in the evening, you go to bed, like, clean, refreshed, ready for a good night's rest. I mean, I suppose there's benefits and negatives to both, but, you know, personally, I cannot fucking brook the shower and be clean for only like one half of the day thing. Oh no, I'm also technically doing that if I postpone the shower. It's a complex situation. The only happy answer, you know, the only kind of happy answer is to shower twice a day. But the problem is, one, that's really bad. Like, I imagine that's not great for the environment. You know, showering once a day is also not super great for the environment, I imagine, but it's good for hygiene. So I think like that's important. Bad for skin. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's bad for your skin if you have that. I don't know. Like, how many people in here have skin? Let's be real. Be honest with me, how many people have skin? I think skin is just a thing that Nivea made up. Nivea? Anyway, that one skincare company made up to sell more products. Ripped mine off last month. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what you do, right? Like, the seasons change, you gotta rip off your skin. Get a fresh new layer growing. Like a lobster. Alright, adjust line width, redraw vector line width. Here we friggin' go. Yeah. I joke, but like my eczema does tend to flare up when the seasons change, so my skin just does start peeling whenever whenever like it switches to like wintertime or summertime. Which sucks, but it's what can you do? You know, I'm already putting on the creams and everything, so you're also part reptile, right? Sat down. Please don't make it part of my lore that I am part reptile. I have so much shit going on already. Yeah, that's something that I think about. That like, if I do ever end up rebranding for whatever reason, you know, if I for some weird reason get tired of being a bag of rice, orc, sans Undertale, part sun, half sans, half reptile. Call that a bony lizard. Fuck yeah, got it in one. Shit, that was such a good pun. I'm really proud of that one. Like that is a real reptile, right? Like a bony lizard, like a bony dragon or something like that. Bony lizard. I have to confirm. No, I don't think that's a real thing. That makes me really sad. I think I was thinking of bearded lizard. I was like lizard thing that starts with B, bearded, bony lizard, and then I immediately like hit send on that tweet that was in my brain. We can say it is so you can have the joke. Thank you, Toast. I appreciate that. I was thinking of those horse skeletons from Minecraft. I mean, that's also true. Yeah, I remember people being like super like I forgot whether or not you can actually ride those in the game. I think I do remember that in Breath of the Wild you can tame the skeleton well, tame is a strong word. You can ride the skeleton horses, but they also disappear whenever like the sun comes up, so you can't store them at the stable. I watched some dudes play through Breath of the Wild, and so I know stuff about the game. I know about the like game mechanics, but I like don't know specific parts of the game. I do like it when an animal is just animal, but it's just the bones. like the opposite of that one ghost dog from A Nightmare Before Christmas. You can ride a bear. Huh. Oh yeah, it was recently Fat Bear Week, wasn't it? Yeah, Cat and My Fat Bear Week. It's always exciting when that happens because I don't like keep track of it at all, so it's always a surprise whenever like I see like somebody saying, "Oh hey, it's Fat Bear Week," and I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, it's Fat Bear Week! What the hell?" I do imagine that it's like right before winter because that's when the bears are at like their fattest, which makes sense. You know, like before. It would make sense that it's in the fall because like if they had it in winter, you know, the bears would be asleep. They wouldn't enjoy having their privacy peeped into like that while they were trying to get some shut-eye. So yeah, Fat Bear Week is very likely in fall. But yeah, riding a bear, huh? Man. Gonna be honest, if Pabs gets Time Machine at any point, I'm gonna domesticate a bear. I'm gonna go back in evolution. I'm gonna convince the hunter-gatherer tribes that I'm going to point at the predecessor of a bear and be like, "You should tame that thing, brother. Trust." And then I'm gonna come back and people are gonna have like pet bears that are the size of like muffins. I don't know if I should include my dog statue because while it is part of the background, I'm not sure that it would make sense. Like people might be distracted by it since it's just like a quirky little thing. Yeah, maybe having it blank would be a better decision. Oh yeah. Speaking of perspective, right? I've recently been learning about this series for this old anime called The Laughing Salesman. First of all, I get real like first of all, hang on. Laughing Salesman. First of all, the main character I feel like a weird amount of kinship with the main character because he looks like this. Main character is a weird way to describe this guy, but like, that's... Hang on, I'm gonna like, I feel like he would be like my evil twin. Right? Like, we have the same proportions. He does have eyes, you know, that does disqualify us from being kin, but like, he does have eyes. But you can see what I mean, right? Anyway, I watched this series, right? I watched a couple episodes from the series, and one of the episodes was about a dude who kept apologizing to literally everybody for the smallest reasons. So you just keep getting shorter and wider. That was always the plan. By 2025, paths will be 1 pixel tall and 3,000 pixels wide. Gonna be working a 1 to 3,000 aspect ratio. I'm gonna need to letterbox my stream so you can even see me in the frame. Okay, there we go. But yeah, eventually I will become, like, extremely wide. The thing is, right, originally, I don't know, like, what kind of proportions I was picturing for myself. Like, I was just picturing, like, I think I was picturing myself as, like, particularly stout, but not, like, thinking about it too hard. Like, I just drew a hoodie, put my rice head on top of it, and hit clicks and I hit start stream, right? 1 year ago, 1 year and 15 days ago. And at the time, I wasn't really thinking about, like, the actual proportions. Like, would I have, like, my normal proportions as a human? Would I be, like, short and stout? And I'm glad that I eventually went for, like, short and stout. Because honestly, being a manlet is such an integral part of my brand now. Okay. There we go. Coffee time. Anyway, I was talking about, like, what do you call, ratio, like, perspective, right? Perspectives and how they relate to art. Fucking forgot to make my coffee. Haha. Pap's trick. Anyway, I brought that up because, like, the episode that I watched the other day, when I was looking at it on YouTube, they had an episode from like a series from, like, friggin' 1980s or so. And thank you for reminding me by drinking your old ass stale coffee. It's my pleasure. Alright, round a balloon. Here we go. Here we go. Here we friggin' go. Alright. We have the... Okay, I need the Pacific text. Pacific. I gotta start... I feel like I gotta start doing more of that, what do you call it? Of that, like, font showdown that I did the other day. The other day, I say, as if it wasn't, like, probably months ago now. But yeah, I have been thinking of, like, doing something similar to that. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it that size for now, and then I'm gonna figure out how to work it out with the other ones later. How to add, create new layer. Alright, here's how we do it. Okay, then back over here. Wrists are very crunchy tonight. Well, today. It feels weird streaming, like, before the sun has set. It does feel, like, very weird streaming before the sun has set. It's not bad, though. I feel more energized. I feel like I can tackle the day with more energy. It's nice. Alright. The sun calls you boy? Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about, like, what the sun would call me. I feel like he would just call me boy. I think that's the funniest. I think that's the funniest thing I can do. Let's see here. Oh, that is such a... Hang on. What's going on here? TBH, I thought I overslept because I woke to a path stream. I feel like that's been... I feel like that happened to also Leo. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna try to figure out what like a good font size would be for this. So maybe like 30? No, 30 is still too small. Like maybe 40 then. 50? Yeah, I think 50 is good. For like a normal font size. No, it just feels so early because it's so dark outside. I mean, that's also true. Today's very gloomy out where I live. You know, it's not exactly like, oh, hang on. I spy a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche vector eraser attack upon ye. Yeah, the sun is just not there. Like, it's check outside your window. Yeah, no, it's like... I don't know, it's like... Like, it's light out, but it's not bright. I'm standing there. Yeah, you're stuck to the wall like a beetle. To the window. I'm sorry, to the window like a beetle. Alright, so I think... Did I say 60 or 50? Yeah, 50 I think is the winning number. Okay. Now, I need to figure out a way to merge these two. Oh, well, that was easy. Now what I need to do is find a way to connect these two, because it's always bugged me that, like, Clip Studio doesn't have a good way of... Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Clip Studio doesn't have, like, a good way of... How do you call it? Like... connecting two disjointed balloons, other than, like, putting them way too close together. And that makes it a little hard to read sometimes. Is it on purpose that the sun looks like Flowey? No. That was not an intention. I realize that some parallels can be made, especially because I'm Sans Undertale. God damn it! No, well, I mean, like, the thing is, right? Flowey is supposed to be like... Well, no, he's supposed to be like a daffodil or something. But he looks like a sunflower. I didn't realize that either, though. That was not intentional. Oh well, I'll roll with it. Okay, so brush size, increase that a little bit. There we go. Almost feel like I should curve this, like, upwards a little bit. There we go. Alright. I do think it's funny whenever, like, when a character hears, like, a voice coming out from the other side of the room and is like, God? Balloon pen, balloon tail, here we go. Alright. Should I focus on coloring the panel now or later? Probably best to do it now. That way I can use it as like a palette for the rest of it. Unless... You know, it might be more efficient to just have like an overall palette on top here. Hang on. I've got an idea now. Alright, put this here. Where is it? There we go. Put this here. And why not put... Where is it? Oh, here we go. This here. Yeah. Man, it feels weird to see my just chatting screen like this. Alright. I wish there was like a way to abstract a palette from a canvas, but that's going to be heavily impossible. If not somewhat inconvenient, I feel. I do know that it's possible to not abstract. I do know it's possible to colorize a drawing with some AI included in CSP. I know that that's possible. Yeah, I do wonder if I should maybe like change my just chatting screen to... That's not the right color, I think. I'm just gonna keep it like this color, or like... I don't know. I think this might be a good color, actually, for the ground. I'll figure it out or I won't. Okay. Then perhaps we got like this. This. I'm not sure. I don't know how other people make palettes, but I like to like put related colors together like this. You know, just kind of stack them like mochi. There we go. Don't need that anymore, and then we're gonna go over with the sun. Okay, this should come in handy. Let me flip the canvas to make sure it's not too weird. Okay, yeah, so see, this to me says that I gotta like move it around. Maybe like this. There we go. And, you know, that just helps the perspective a little bit. Does it also reverse the text? Yeah, boy. Sorry. I don't know. It's funny, like, reading stuff backwards, because sometimes your brain just makes a wild association and you don't know why it did that, other than you just vaguely recognize the symbols in action. And you're like, hey, I know that. I know those symbols. No, you don't, but, you know, it's nice that you're trying. Okay. So then we're gonna bring this somewhere around here. Okay, yeah, this is gonna expedite things significantly, I think. Oh my god. This is so nice. This is what people who normally... God? Like, this is, like, really new to me, though. Like, I've never really worked with palettes before, except in, like, A-Sprite or something. So this is gonna really expedite the process. Yeah, look at me, I'm zooming. Yeah, don't think, just paint. The only palette I work with is the palette of hunger. I am hungry. Yeah. Yeah, hunger is an art, and brother, I'm about to get friggin' Damien Hirst up in here. Caveman learns fire? I mean, not wrong exactly. Like, like I said, I tend to believe that I'll just like naturally gravitate to whatever works best for me, as I kind of like keep repeating a process over and over. So I don't really go out of my way to try different things. So like if I you know, that's definitely not a great attitude to have if you want to grow. But, you know, if you're like me and don't have a super lot of patience, it works out eventually, one way or another. Okay, then paint, select, refer to editing layer only. Here we go. Yeah, I remember using like a thick brush or something, like... Oh wait, I think I have a brush that's actually perfect for this. Yeah, like Tiger Crown or Tiger Bite or something. Yeah, Tiger Crown. Now this brush, for whatever reason, slows down my computer quite a bit, so... Here we go. Look at our struggle. Actually, what might work better is if I tilted it like this way so we get some of that texturing going on down there. I mean, there's also learning a new technique and customizing it to fit you. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, there's no wrong way to learn something other than not learning. You know, like the only wrong way to learn something... Yeah, this is not working. This is just slow as molasses. Off a spoon. Oh wait, I have other brushes here. Hang on, I remember I had like one that was like this or something. Yeah, this one will do. Alright, with the text on... Okay, yeah, that works. Like, I never would have rendered the skin of my chibi like I did because it takes like... because it takes so long. That's true. I mean, you know, it's also that philosophy, right? Take what's useful, leave behind what isn't. So, you know, if you find something that you feel works for you, if you find something that you find works for you, you know, go for it a little bit. You know, try to incorporate it a little bit more into the day-to-day. Or, you know, your regular work style. It could be quite rewarding. That's not the right brush. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm getting sidetracked a little bit. Alright, so... Couple things. One, I actually found out something really funny that apparently... I mentioned Damien Hirst, right? As the... for the Palette of Hunger comment. And the funny thing about that is that I had him on the mind because I learned that apparently he burned like $2 million worth of his own dang paintings to have them preserve their value as NFTs. And that in turn reminded me of this thing that I did yesterday with my coworkers. So my coworkers know a little bit about business. We work in like a white collar job in the business sector, so that makes sense. And one of my coworkers was explaining the concept of like the metaverse and like buying land on like New Horizons and everything on like one of those metaverse places. And the other dude who was with us, so we were 4 dudes, right? Me, a guy that I usually work with, and the guy who was like explaining the NFT thing, and this other guy who was like a new hire. So we were all just like chatting, and like he was like, "Yeah, no, you like buy this land, like actual like land that's not real, but you buy it in this metaverse place." And the other guy was like, "Nah, man, come on. Hi, Ben. Welcome." So yeah, we were like roasting the hell out of him for that. God. Yeah. Anyway, it also is really funny to me because before this, the only understanding I had of Damien Hirst was that he was the guy that turned he encrusted a skull with like a shitload of diamonds. Like that was my impression of Damien Hirst, and that would have been my impression of him forever until I learned about this. It is always like that because like eventually it goes into like, man, why couldn't you have just been the guy that turned a skull into a diamond forever? And the only reason I know about the skull diamond is because of that one Netflix anime starring friggin' Tyler the Creator or something called Neo Yokio. I wonder if they ever brought that back for a second season. I stopped like knowing stuff about it like way back in like 2016 and everything. I remember that's like when it released, and like I was interested in it for like a brief amount of time, and then I was like, no, this is time to move on to something new. But yeah, I do remember that show being real. God, there were some really funny bits in that show, though, I will say. Alright, remove this part here. Drink some more of my coffee, because that's how we do. Yeah. God, that reminds me that the other day, right, I read, like, you know, even in companies which are quote-unquote embracing, like, NFTs and the metaverse and all this shit, only, like, I remember this is the statistics from Meta, the company that was once called Facebook. I remember that only 58% of their employees actually, like, understood the mission. Like, they understood what the hell was going on with, like, with the strategy around about, like, the metaverse. And, like, I feel like once you hit, like, you know, once, like, a low majority of your, like, this is not a thing where you want, like, a low majority of people to understand your strategy. If you're, like, if you're putting, like, your entire business into this shit, like, I feel like 58% is, like, not a great number of people who understand the vision. God. It's always really funny. Like, this is also the reason why I do still keep up with, like, business shit, because every single time that, you know, they say, like, oh no, business works, like, it just trusts the system, bro. Like, it proves to itself that it very obviously does not. Like, for example, the other day I read that apparently there was, like, some law going around. You know, it was an attempt to make sure that workers who, you know, like, gig workers, like people who work for, like, Uber, skip the dishes and everything like that, that make sure that they got, like, the same benefits and everything, the same treatment as, like, an employee. And instantaneously, like, Uber, skip the dishes, DoorDash, friggin' all those guys who take advantage of such people, lost, like, 10% of their market value, or, like, their share price. You know, they didn't lose 10% of their market value, they lost 10% of their share price, which, frankly speaking, is more embarrassing. Okay. So then we kind of go in over here. And increase the saturation on that, and then we can just draw some, like, floorboards and call it a day. There we go. Yeah, normal. It actually has, like, that, it is, like, that kind of solid color all around. I never noticed shadows in your just chatting. Yeah. Yeah, I worked pretty hard on this screen. I have way more props now. Like, I feel like I'm almost, like, if I ever remake this, and I probably will at some point, there are some things that I wish I could have done better. Or rather, some things that I want to improve on it, or, you know, just for a refreshing change. But I have way more than just these props now. Yeah. I do actually have a redeem where, like, you can like, make me wear one of my props that I've, like, put on the streams before. Yeah. Or, like, even suggest a prop. I have redeems like that, and nobody's taken the bait just yet. Wow, you have so you have no many. That's right, I have no many props. I have exactly 0 props ever. Oh, really? Did I just make a mistake? I feel like I've just handed you the keys to a very expensive car. But yeah, go wild with it. Yeah, I have a list of props at the bottom, and you can just pick and choose one of these. I mean, I assume people did. Oh, yeah. No, people haven't taken advantage of that yet. Some people have been taking advantage of summoning Rice Beasts, though, which I find cute. You know, I put that in there at more or less the same time. So it's nice to see that people are like using those kinds of redeems. No, it's nice. Like it's like, how do I put this? It's like if you were at a party and you set out some like food for your guests that you spent a little time preparing, and you come back later and you see that some of the food has been eaten. You feel good about that because like it means that people wanted to try your food. Like that's I think like a lot of the reasons why some people get really excited about redeems is that like they're excited to see that people notice what they put out for them and that they've taken advantage of it. Actually, come to think of it, the center of sunflowers is also kind of green, isn't it? Let me take a look. No, it is kind of orange. It's orange with a greenish center. You know, it's kind of got some green going on in there. Alright, let me rectify that in that case. That's a little too much. No, that looks weird actually, hang on. This does not look right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it yellow and then have like the greenish bit in the middle. Like brownish yellow. A little bit more towards this, I think. I have to be very careful to make sure that it doesn't look like the center of the sunflower is skin, because that's just kind of disturbing. No, that looks like skin. That looks like skin. That is disturbing. Oh, hell yeah. Hang on, let me get a rice piece in here. I can only afford it this time. It's me as a flower. Yeah. Hang on. We have some space up here. Let me put rice piece on my head. There we go. Yeah. It shall be my scout. God, yeah. Me as a flower. If I were a plant, I would be... The only right answer in this scenario is rice, isn't it? Like, there's no other right answer in the scenario except rice. Oh, I think we might have a winner. Hang on. Kind of like this orangish color. Yeah, okay. Maybe more toward yellow? Maybe more toward red? A little less red. I think that's good, actually. I wonder if I, like, added something here. If it would, like... Okay, yeah, it will work. Alright, hang on, I got an idea. Refer to all layers. Here we go. Alright, then with the... Actually, with the friggin' G-pen should be fine. then, yeah, just a little bit of shading for each one of these. A little bit of the neater eraser action back here. I need to remember that this is like a linear layer and not a straight up shadow layer. So that way I might not accidentally like goof with some of the actions here. That was very poorly explained, but basically I need to remember that it's not a one-to-one like, oh, I want the color in this tone, and make it in this tone kind of thing. I'm gonna need to remember that. Okay, then back here. I remember a long time ago I actually did learn what each of the blending layer types did, but I've started like replacing that knowledge with just like unga bunga instincts and just going like, hey, that looks good, and then just using that, going with it. Okay, we do have the whiteboard back here is the thing. So we're gonna need to like add that in just a little bit. This is gonna be the most scuffed whiteboard in existence. Just you watch. Well, technically it'd be a blackboard, not a whiteboard. I am glad that we've started switching over to whiteboards from blackboards, because I just know that if I had to like be around chalk a lot as a kid, I would have definitely inhaled some on accident. You know, I may not have lungs, but pulmonary issues are nothing to fuck with. Okay, then back here. I should drink some more coffee. Also, I'm realizing right now that we've only gotten about like one panel of this done. So either I need to step down the production values a little bit, or I need to step up the pace. This is usually why I do comics as well in that kind of like grayscale style, because that's just a bit of a time saver in a lot of cases. But it's nice to do like a full color comic every now and again. Oops, wrong layer. Oh yeah, I keep freaking forgetting about the point I'm trying to make with that laughing salesman thing. So I watched this episode of the Laughing Salesman, right? And if you're not familiar with the plot of the Laughing Salesman, it's a very formulaic show in that the idea is that, you know, the guy that I showed you, the path-shaped guy who I showed you, basically goes up to somebody who is having issues with like a specific thing. So for example, maybe they're not happy with their life. They have something that's been bothering them at work or something. So he finds these people and he basically offers them like free of charge a solution to their problems. Usually, sometimes with like a specific rule that they cannot break or else bad shit will happen. So naturally, like, they almost always break the rule and bad shit happens to them, but that usually comes later. And in this case, the client in question was this salaryman who had an issue that he apologized to people all the time. So what the Laughing Salesman did is that he actually like set him up on the tallest building of the city. Like, he basically set up a little shack on the top floor of the tallest building in the city for him and said, alright, you're living here for 1 week. And by the end of the week, you will have gotten so used to looking down on people that you will no longer have issues apologizing all the time. And the guy was like, this is insane. But, you know, the salesman had already, like, closed the door behind him, so he was just fucking stuck there. Anyway, he returns 1 week later, and sure enough, the guy actually did gain a substantial amount of confidence. And, you know, he goes back to his job. He's like, the people at work are like, what the fuck? You were gone for like an entire week. What the hell happened to you? And he was like, listen, I've accumulated a lot of paid time off in my career. I'm allowed to take breaks if I want to. All right, and they were like, "Shit, okay, yeah, I guess so." He does eventually get like turned back into like the normal apologetic self because his wife just finds him as like, "Bro, what the fuck? You were gone for an entire week and you didn't say anything. What the hell is wrong with you?" But and like, you know, the whole moral of the story is that, you know, even if you decide to make like a drastic change to your life, you can't change that much in just 1 week. Either make someone who stops constantly apologizing, yeah, make someone with a god complex. Yeah, there's no in between. Either you apologize for being born, or you like make other people apologize for being born into your world. No in between. Alright, I'm gonna blend this out a little bit. But yeah. There are some like way darker stories. Like a lot of people have compared The Laughing Salesman to The Twilight Zone for very good reasons. Which I think is really cool. I only managed to ever watch a couple of episodes of The Twilight Zone, but I do remember really enjoying the ones I watched. I remember I tried to like watch it a long time ago. It was very spooky though, so I eventually stopped. Yeah. I remember one of the ones that I really liked was this storyline about a dude who basically he wasn't a very successful salesman, and an angel basically visited him and said like, "Hey bro, listen, it's time for you to go." And the guy was very obviously not ready to die because he wanted to make he had like a, you know, like obviously he didn't want to die because he had like stuff to live for. But the angel was like, "Well, I can't really like let you live unless there's something that you always wanted to do, in which case there's like a clause that you can use where you can't die until you fulfill that clause." And the guy's like, "All right, I'll listen. Well, I always wanted to make a sale that was like super fucking good in my entire life. I never really managed to do it. But if I can pull that off, then, you know, why not?" And well, at first he tries to exploit it by saying like he's just giving up as a salesman, but then naturally the angel gets pissed and says like, "You know, that's not how this was supposed to work. You know, like I was supposed to give you a little bit of extra time, not like an entire lifetime's worth." And he was like, "Well, shit." So he cuts a deal with the angel and says like, "All right, listen, if I can convince you that I have fulfilled my purpose in life, will you let me like live just a couple days longer so I can fulfill a promise to one of my friends?" Because he basically, you know, this was set in like the 50s when it was like normal to have like to have close ties to people in your neighborhood, and the salesman himself was actually like very popular with a lot of the kids in the neighborhood. Like, you know, he would like play with them, he would like play games with them. So, and he didn't want to disappoint the kids. So he was like, "Listen, if I like manage to get you that sale, like if I manage to sell you as I promised, will you let me live so I can say goodbye to the kids?" And the angel was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And the guy actually does pull it off. Like he does manage to have such a good sale pitch to this angel. He basically sells everything that's in his salesman's trunk to the angel, and manages to keep the angel there until the morning. And the angel's like, "All right, damn, you got me. That was really good." So he lets him say goodbye to the people that he loves, and, you know, the end of episode. I always thought that one was really sweet. I really like the, you know, because like a lot of the Twilight Zone episodes are centered around like a dystopian concept or an idea. So having one where like it's just like one dude against a force that he does not understand or cannot possibly fight against, being like, "Okay, but maybe I can win this," is actually kind of refreshing almost. Yeah, okay, I think that's pretty good. Let me blend this out a little bit. Yeah, I think the name of the episode was something like "One for the Angels" or something like that. Yeah, I remember it was one of the few episodes that I watched. Gotta go. I also got things to do. I want to finish that island tomorrow. Thank you for stream. Yeah, catch you later, Lev. Have fun with that island. Tell me how it goes. Okay. Speaking of which, I should drink some more coffee. Alright. I will. I want to play right now so bad. God, that was me a couple weeks ago. Well, I say a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago now. When I first got Guilty Gear Strive, and I was like, damn, like, whenever I was at work, I was like, damn, I really wish I was playing Guilty Gear right now. To be fair, that was kind of a low point in my life. Guilty Gear is a lot of fun, but, like, that was at a point in my life where I just did not want to be at work. Yeah, got it. And so, you know, it was very easy for me to be like, damn, I really wish I was playing Guilty Gear right now. Yeah, damn, I wish I was learning fast combos instead of doing whatever the fuck I'm doing here. I eventually got put off that project, and my life became much better almost instantaneously. It's not going it's not like super smooth right now either, but it's a sort of not smooth I can handle, you know, like sandpaper, like a square of sandpaper, you know. It's not smooth, but I can you know, it's got like a soft side to it that I can certainly manipulate to achieve my goals. I don't know if that was I don't know if that was a good analogy or not. But you know, yeah, have fun with your game. Yeah, catch you later. God. I heard that apparently Microsoft, right? Microsoft is launching a new thing called like Microsoft Designer. And, you know, I'm very leery of it. It's basically like Canva, but made by Microsoft. And I'm very leery of it because it's like one of its selling points is that it can use like AI-generated images. I went on a little bit of a rabbit hole the other day, right, about like this AI-generated image thing. There's a website you can actually go to, not to make them, but to like see what other people have made. It's called, I don't remember what it's called, actually. Let me see if I can find it in my search history, because I remember I saw it this morning. It was... No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Hang on, I'm gonna find it real quick. I need to remember the name of this place. Lexica. Yeah, the name of the place is Lexica. And... yeah, so if you look up a place called lexica.art, you can basically see what other people have been putting on, like, DALL-E and everything, like, all those, like, AI-generated art places. And I feel really bad for Greg Rutowski. Like, if you don't know who Greg Rutowski is, he's basically a character designer with a very distinctive style. And he apparently has, like, the most hits. Like, you know, when you make AI art, you have to give it prompts. And, like... almost in every single one of these, I've seen some dude say something along the lines of something, you know, something or other prompt, Greg Rutowski. And man, that's gotta suck. Yeah, like, it's just really bad, man. It feels bad to see that. It is somewhat fascinating, right? Like, yeah, like... to some extent, like, I find AI art fascinating because, like, you can it's almost like when you see, like, a very poorly made video game, you can see underneath the skin of the system into, like, what went on behind the scenes. Like, if you see, like, some dude getting very choppily made up on, like, the finalized image, you're like, oh, man, there must not be a lot of references for this sort of thing. And, like, you can see where they pulled it from. Like, there was, I remember some dude showed a picture of, like, them, like, putting in as the prompt, like, salmon in a stream. And it ended up... oh, that's a beautiful sunflower. It ended up making, like, a picture of salmon fillets rather than the fish. Like, just the salmon fillets in the river. And you can see how, like, limited it is. Yeah. And you can see how limited it is. And, like... on the one hand, it's like fascinating the kind of like possibilities it has, but at the same time, you just know that it's not going to be used for any of those. Like, it's not going to be used for any of the good things. Particularly because it requires, like, I'm going to get a little dramatic here, sacrifice? Like, it requires, like, an input from a specific source. So, like, unless you've made, like, a shitload of art yourself, which, you know, I have, but not a lot of these people have. Unless you've made a ton of that input yourself, you are basically stealing from other people. Like, that's not, like, a negotiable thing. You are basically stealing their effort and work to put into your machine. Yeah, that's kind of, like, my perspective on it. Like, I could definitely see the uses for people who already make art, but if you're just going to use it to, you know, steal the style of someone else, right? And, you know, say that makes you, you know, it's just a bummer that happens sometimes. Like, some people, like, take the style of somebody else, input it into, like, the AI algorithm, and be like, yeah, this is sick, right? Like, it just feels gross if that happens, because, you know, to me that feels like it's almost like a disrespectful almost. Because that's not your art. That wasn't yours to, like, deal with. In most cases, like, backed by, like, a legal terms of service. Yeah, that's kind of my perspective on it. Like, it would be cooler if it wasn't the way it was. Yeah, I think that's my stance on it. Just line width. Yeah. I really need some work on, like, drawing sunflower petals and everything. Like I said, I do have that one brush, but it has, like, that weird, like, mark on it that I can't seem to get rid of. Oh yeah, I forgot to redraw the circle. I should drink some more coffee. Usually my policy is that I don't get coffee after noon. But today was a bit of a special case. I'm going to need this energy later today. Yeah, the thing is, right, because I planned my stream to be somewhat earlier in the day, I am currently faced with a situation that I have a lot of the day ahead of me. So I have, like, a plan to hit up, like, 3 different places before the day is over. And I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to do that without coffee. Did I actually make a color for the flower pot down here? Yes, I did. Okay, good. That's good to know. Okay. I'm gonna add these colors to the palette. Hang on. Oh yeah, I do actually really enjoy sites like Canva and Photopea and everything, like the ones that let you do design stuff without actually needing design knowledge. So, like, if you don't know what Canva is, it's basically a website that's designed around being able to create, like, posters, cards, invitations, and such, but with, like, pre-made assets and everything. I've used it a couple times, actually, for thumbnails, just for ideas for, like, layouts and everything. I don't actually use a lot of the assets from there. Some of them are free. Like, some of the assets are actually free on those, so that's useful as well. Wrong layer. Try again. Wait, what color was this thing's mouth on the first panel? Okay, it was like a lighter pink. I need to add that to the palette. Okay, add these here, and then add... weird Hecabon there. Alright, so from there we need to refer to all layers. No, that's not quite right. There we go. Alright, here's how we do it. Get this brush with this color. And start just diffusing the hell out of it. Okay. Probably should... Oh, wait. I think I can. I did actually make this on a separate layer. That's good. That's really good, then. Okay, just thinking quickly. What else would be missing? Maybe some shading on the pot? Yeah, I think that would be... That wouldn't be out of the question. Learning that you can just make one curve on any surface and then, like, shade it based on that... It was such a godsend to me, as somebody who loves being lazy about shading. Yeah. I used to actually really dislike the shading process until I figured out, like, how shadows work. I'm hoping something similar will eventually happen with, like, backgrounds. Hasn't happened yet, but a man can dream. You have to keep the hope alive. Yeah. I think, like, part of the reason, right, that I don't know what it takes, you know, what kind of mindset you need to have to enjoy shading and making backgrounds, right? Because I imagine there has to be like a very specific mindset or, you know, kind of like perspective that can be used to making backgrounds much more enjoyable. You know, that's my assumption. That's what I think. Like, the reason some people enjoy doing backgrounds, because such people do exist, I know this for a fact, the reason some people enjoy doing backgrounds must be because they find something fun in it. Right? So I'm trying to figure out like what that would be for me. Like what would I have fun with doing in backgrounds? And the issue is that the answer that most naturally comes to mind is the same as with any kind of drawing that I make, adding subtle details. And the problem with that is that it takes so much work and on something that I'm already so unfamiliar with that it just kind of like makes it more difficult and not any more enjoyable. So yeah, the fun part about like this complaint is that it basically boils down to skill issue. Oh well, I can't be perfect at everything, right? Balloon tail. It's important to have weaknesses so that you know what to strive for next. Naturally, it's also important to improve your own strengths, but I think having weaknesses is important so that you kind of like have that idea of what you can and cannot do. Because if you can do everything, you will end up doing everything. And that sounds kind of exhausting, to be perfectly honest. I also do like that I've just turned the sun into like kind of a jerk as part of my personal lore. Oops, hang on. Add to selected layer. Here we go. Yeah, I think it's really funny that I basically just decided that the sun was just an asshole now. Like, the sun isn't evil, but it is just kind of like a moocher. Like it is just like an asshole. Like it's the kind of guy who will like borrow a game from you and forget to ever return it. He's like that kind of guy. Alright, and then another balloons bubble. I actually do think I'm going to move the sun a little bit to the left here. That does pose a problem vis-a-vis like the rest of the background, but I think I can find a workaround real quick. Hang on. And then combine. Alright, now hang on. I gotta like put these on separate in a separate folder, copy and paste the folder, and then merge it together so I can even it out. Okay. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Alright, so we're not quite done just yet with blending out the background. There we go. That's it. That looks more natural. Okay. Kind of move around these speech balloons a little bit so that they make more sense. And drink some more coffee. The thing about drinks, right, particularly hot drinks, specifically only hot drinks as a matter of fact, one of the things I enjoy hot drinks, right, but one of the problems that I have with them is that there is a very specific window of time where the drink is enjoyably hot. Like, I have a very sensitive tongue, is the problem. I have a tongue that is very sensitive to heat. At least relatively, I believe. So whenever I get like a hot drink, there is a 5-minute at most window where it is at the optimal temperature, where it's not hot enough to like burn me, but it's also like warm enough that I can like actually feel it a little bit. So what ends up happening is that like once I find that it's at that one specific temperature that I like, it's like a mad dash down it all in one go. So that it's not like unpleasantly cold after that. Okay. No, that's a little too big for like a chibi paths is the thing. I need to make the speech balloon a little bit more narrow as well. Now see, that might be a little too narrow is the thing. Alright, hang on. I'm about to do some professional strategies over here. Which is to say, I'm just going to thin the hell out of the line so that they make more sense. There we go. Very carefully. Surgical precision for this. There we go. Also, I'm going to make the speech bubbles for the sun a little bit bigger. Okay, so here's where the professional strategies step in, right? I'm just gonna like reach on over to this panel here, and I am going to copy and paste it into the third panel because it's just a close-up. Haha, you see. Hang on, I gotta delete the tiny tabs over here. Alright. Hang on, I need to select multiple layers for this. Okay. Oh man, that's taking a minute to like calculate for the program. Oh god, I hate deleting the sun's eyes because like they're such like because I make them as tiny little beads, right? When I erase them, they turn like super weird. Doing them on the painting layer just makes a lot more sense. Actually, hang on, why not move the whole thing? So if I just kind of like reach on up over here. There we go. This looks like it's looking much more intensely at the camera. That's kind of what I was going for. I love it when things have non-complicated features. Okay, so then... What I was actually thinking as well is that I wanted to save this for the fourth panel, but... Hang on. I wanted to save this for the fourth panel, but I think it might be like good to preempt it in this panel here. So I'm just gonna like... Okay, I'm gonna actually like drag the sunflower so it's like a little bit less centered of the camera. Kind of like that, just a little bit smaller. Okay. I think also that I need to put in the text first. That would be a good idea. Alright, so speech bubble, speech bubble, speech bubble, text. Oh god, don't do the little, like, tilde thing. I feel like this isn't as pleasantly, like, divided in terms... Hang on. Yeah, this feels much better. Okay, now I just need to resize the word balloon. Is this the same size as the other text, is my question? Yeah, it is, okay. I think before I was writing in caps lock, which is maybe why it looked a little bit bigger. Also, I need to put the sun just a tad more towards the middle. Alright, here we go. Oops, wrong button. Alright. Let's try to get this thing done before 2 p.m. ET. Oops. Hang on. Oh, am I on the wrong layer? Yeah, I am. Alright, hang on. It's weird because sometimes Clip Studio Paint will, like, select a different bubble on a different layer. And, you know, for a second you just feel like you're writing as a ghost. Hang on. Yeah, if you heard my phone vibrate just now, no you didn't. God, I don't know. There needs to be, like, a, you know... I am heavily against, like, any kind of technology that can directly interface with your mind. Both from a moral standpoint and from the standpoint that I know that somebody's gonna pervert that horribly, horribly, horribly. But I do wish there was, like, an even, like, less intrusive way to get a notification than just vibration. Like, you have, like, noises, right? You have, like, apps that make noise. And we need, like... So, like, it goes from... You have your phone on, like, noise mode or something. I don't know what it would call it. Like, yeah, normally your phone makes a noise whenever, like, an app gets a notification. You put it on silent mode, it just vibrates, right? I'm saying that we need a degree softer than that. I'm saying that we need just, like... Maybe not even, like, a color pop-up. Like, we need, like, the phone to, like, just hum a little bit. Like, just... Like a cat purring. But, like, very quiet. Alright? That's what we need. That's what I need, personally, as a consumer. It always cracks me up when I can actually use the lid of the sack as the, as, like, eyebrows. Alright. Alright, and then... Okay, hang on. Something's weird here. Okay, I think we're back. I think that's normal now. Alright, that was really weird. It was behaving very strangely. Okay, and now we just need to use the balloon tails. Okay, that might be too wide for the tail. 300 is also too wide. I'm trying to figure like a good balance for this. Maybe 200? How's 200 look? Okay, and now it's time to draw the fourth panel, which I left blank on purpose. I didn't even do a sketch of it. For a very... Wait, no, actually, I think I still have one more thing I need to do on panel 3, which is a radial blur. Or like that manga style effect. So figure, ruler, rule pen, special ruler, parallel line, radial curve, concentric circle, guide. I think it's radial line. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay. This might look better in white, actually. Hang on. Yeah, I think white actually does the trick a little bit better. Alright, rasterize. And then blur, radial blur. Center it around here. Strength, inward. Correction, mode, smooth. Does that actually have an effect? Uh-oh. That might be too strong. Oh god, it's like loading. This is gonna be the world's most powerful radial blur. Yeah, it's gonna be such a strong radial blur, it's gonna become diametric. Okay, that literally did nothing, is the thing. Alright, hang on. Maybe it's because I've got the ruler activated. Actually, you know what? I think that's fine. Actually, just keep that on there. I'm actually going to copy and paste this effect line for right on this panel 4, actually. Turn that off right now, though. Alright, here we go. Here comes the punchline, fellas. Alright. There we go. I love drawing hands a lot. I really like drawing hands. You know, I know some people will struggle with it. I'm built slightly different. You know, there are some stuff that I struggle with, which I'm sure people enjoy themselves. But I do really love drawing hands because, like, they can be so much fun, so very expressive and fun. And I need to put these arms a little closer together, I think. Also lower the like line width a little bit. Oh, here we go. Then what about... Okay, maybe increasing the size of it while retaining the kind of like angle. Okay, I think from here what I need to do, the best strategy would be to like narrow this down a little bit and then make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, make sure there's a gap there for the, to kind of like, it feels awkward if there's not like a little gap here. Just to make sure. Okay, so it's got a, so the pedal on the, okay, so the pedal on the right side is the one that's like shorter. So in this case, the pedal on the right side would be this one. No, wait, hang on. Okay, so it's the left, it's my left, it's right. So this one would be on this side over here. And this one would be over here. Actually, they would have to be a little bit higher for this joke to work. Let me just like move this little thing up a couple of spaces. A little bit too long there. And then the punchline. That's right, I gave the sunflower plant a little ass. That's the entire punchline. This entire 3-hour stream has been for that punchline alone. How's that for a twist? I don't know, but okay, the back of the sunflower looks like a little bit of like an explosion, right? Of like green, like it's got like this kind of thing going on back here. Yeah, I feel like that might have been anticlimactic for a lot of people, but like I feel like that was worth keeping under wraps for the entire stream. Go. Okay, then raise this up a little bit. Then raise it up another little bit. This one's gonna go around here. If I were a better man, a stronger man, I would probably be like keeping track of all the petals I've drawn on this stupid thing, like over time. But I am, I'm not gonna do that. The good news is that I think like the idea of like a sunflower having an ass is gonna be distracting enough that nobody's gonna notice if I don't keep appropriate track of all the petals. That's the good news. Okay. Alright, let me move this out of the way so it doesn't actually, like, affect anything. I should drink some... Wait, do I still have coffee? No, I'm out of coffee, unfortunately. Well, water is... Water it is. Okay. So then over here... Okay, over here, this one, and over here, this one as well. We can copy and paste the background from the third panel, I think. We'll just have to Photoshop out the flower. Okay, where's the brush pen that I was using earlier? There we go. And then with this part here. Maybe changing the colors up a little bit too. Maybe making it a little bit more red or yellow. Yeah, I think that like cheers up the room a little bit. I need to start learning more about interior decoration. Not only for my own benefit, because my apartment is very functional. Like, I have a lot of knickknacks, but none of them have like any like thematic cohesion. So I feel like learning how to do that would be good for both my ability to make backgrounds and, you know, for my own benefit as a human being who likes his creature comforts. Okay, let me see here. Yeah. It was, however, an act of hubris to believe that I could, like, knock out 2 of these in, like, one sitting. It's impressive that I managed to knock one out, considering the phase I've been going. I think it's definitely because I've been, like, investing time into coloring them that it's taken a little bit longer than I expected. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's like, that means it's got more love and care put into it. I'm not mad. So because of that, I can't really be mad that it took me a little bit longer than expected for each one of these. Okay, and over here. Just gotta eliminate this little bit here. Now we gotta... Now this will be a dangerous mission, but I have chosen to accept it. I need to make this sunflower's ass look incredible. I wonder if this will... This is definitely not against TOS, right? This can't be against TOS. Alright, and then just blend that out a little bit. What have I come back to? Hey, bro, listen, listen, homeboy, don't even worry about it. Homeboy, don't even worry about it. You have nothing to fear. Do not rat me out to the Twitch cops. I will find you. Alright, and back here. But yeah, basically the whole punchline that's been leading up to this is that the sunflower has an ass. I feel very threatened. Sorry. I gotta remember that, like, that, like, saying shit like, I will find you is actually really threatening. And not just something that you say between friends. Goodness. Yeah, that's an issue that I've been having, is that, like, for example, it wasn't even that has me feeling threatened. Oh, the sunflower ass. Wait till I put the final touches on it. Alright, hang on. Okay, and then we turn on this layer. Make sure that it's kind of shaped so that it can, like, focus on the actual focus of the picture. Can I, like, rotate it around, is my question. There we go, hang on. We almost got it. Yes! Okay. Good, alright. Alright, and then filter, blur, radial blur. Oh, I need to merge these together first. Alright, filter, blur, radial blur. Direction. Okay, so what's this gonna look like? Let me get a preview. May slightly lower strength as well. This one might take a second to render since it's like the entire image. Oh god, this is really good. Okay, maybe like just I need like just slightly lower strength. So like right now it's sitting. Right now the strength setting is sitting at a 4.23. I'm gonna put it at 4.20 and see how that treats me. Actually, I'm gonna leave it at. Wait, now what if it's like outward? Okay, outward might be better. I like inward, but outward might be better. Let's give it a second to load up and see what happens. No, I do think inward was better. What about both directions? What'd that look like? Recently I switched my... So my computer has a function, right? I didn't build my computer myself. I had some dudes out in, like, some other province build it for me and then have it shipped to my home, because I am not computer savvy. And it came with one of those, like, light rigs. Those, like, RGB light rigs. And recently I turned it on so that it's, like, starts cycling between, like, all the different colors. And I like it, but it is somewhat mesmerizing. Okay. Yeah, I think inward feels the best for this. Alright, anyway, I think that's the comic done. I think that's the comic ready to go, basically. Although, hang on, I do want to change some of the speech bubbles here, like the shape of them mostly. Like that. Hang on, this is gonna take a second. Also, the text placement in this second part is bothering me, in this second part of the bubble. I think I need to rearrange, like, the lines on this. Okay, I will put into the middle line, so it's got, like, that nice kind of, like, short, long, short structure. I found that a lot of, like, making nice-looking speech bubbles is just figuring out how to arrange the text within the speech bubble. So the shape of the speech bubble isn't so important as, like, the way the lines are arranged. So I know that, for example, having the longest line in the middle is really good practice. Alright, I think I can feel proud of this one. Okay, let's see if we can rate into anybody. I don't know if anybody's streaming right now is the thing. Like, that's another thing about streaming at a time that you don't normally stream at, is that you don't know who all is doing so. Oh, hey, Maru's actually... Oh, Maru's having a subathon. Alright, let's go say hi to them. Okay, let me see where my creator dashboard thingy is. Yeah, I'll be publishing a new schedule probably on Monday, maybe sometime tomorrow. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday and have a great Sunday. I will see you all soon. Yeah, stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you later. Bye.